The name is Jesus, only Jesus. Oh, only Jesus. Only Jesus.
Welcome back to Faithful Chats. Today, we're diving into Matthew chapter 5, verses 21 to 26, where Jesus tackles the topic of murder. But as always, Jesus takes this commandment to a deeper level, showing us that it's not just about avoiding the act of murder. It's about addressing the anger and broken relationships in our hearts.
That's right. Jesus begins by saying, "You have heard that it was said to the people long ago, 'You shall not murder, and anyone who murders will be subject to judgment.'" This refers to the sixth commandment, which everyone listening would have agreed with.
Exactly. Most people would think, well, I haven't killed anyone, so I'm good. But Jesus doesn't stop there. He continues, "But I tell you that anyone who is angry with a brother or sister will be subject to judgment."
This is where it gets uncomfortable. Jesus is showing that sin isn't just about external actions. It starts in the heart. Anger, resentment, and contempt are just as damaging as murder because they destroy relationships and devalue others.
And he goes even further. He says that anyone who calls someone rakah, which was an insult in that culture, is answerable to the court. And if you call someone a fool, you're in danger of the fire of hell.
It's intense, but it drives home the point. Our words matter. They reveal what's in our hearts, and they have the power to harm or heal.
Absolutely. And then Jesus shifts to reconciliation. He says, "Therefore, if you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First, go and be reconciled to them. Then come and offer your gift."
This is so countercultural. In Jesus' time, offering a sacrifice at the temple was one of the most sacred acts of worship. But Jesus is saying that reconciliation is even more important.
It shows us how much God values our relationships. We can't truly worship Him if we're holding on to anger or if there's unresolved conflict in our lives.
And then Jesus gives a practical example about settling matters quickly. He says, "Settle matters quickly with your adversary who is taking you to court. Do it while you are still together on the way, or your adversary may hand you over to the judge, and the judge may hand you over to the officer, and you may be thrown into prison."
The message here is clear. Don't let conflict fester. Resolve it as soon as possible, before it escalates.
So what does this mean for us today?
First, it's a call to examine our hearts. Are we harboring anger, grudges, or contempt toward anyone?
And second, it's a challenge to take action. If there's someone we need to reconcile with, we shouldn't delay. God wants us to be peacemakers, reflecting His love and forgiveness in our relationships.
It's not easy, but it's part of living as a citizen of God's kingdom. And it's freeing, too. Letting go of anger and seeking reconciliation brings healing and peace.
Listeners, here's something to reflect on. Is there someone you need to forgive or ask forgiveness from? What step can you take this week to pursue reconciliation?
We'd love to hear how God is working in your life. Send us a message or comment, and let's encourage each other to live out Jesus' teaching on relationships. Next time, we'll tackle Jesus' words on adultery, another tough but important topic.
Thanks for tuning in to Faithful Chats. Until next time, let's seek peace and reconciliation in our relationships, honoring God with our hearts and our actions.
As we wrap up today's episode, we want to remind you that we don't shy away from difficult topics just like the Bible. We believe tackling challenging subjects head-on is important, because that's how we grow and learn together.
However, we know that sometimes these kinds of conversations don't exactly help with the algorithms. So if you found today's episode valuable, we'd love for you to share it with friends, Christian or otherwise. Help us spread these important messages far and wide.
If you'd like to support the creation of these episodes and help us continue diving into tough but essential topics, consider becoming a patron or grabbing some merch. All the information is below. Your support makes all the difference.
Thank you for listening. And until next time, keep growing in faith, truth, and love.